Hello, I'm Sonicguru, and with me is my friend Niki17.
Hello.
And this is a podcast on the latest, and I do mean latest, is like a few hours ago,
Yeah.
update on the future of Sonic the Hedgehog, namely Sonic Boom.
Mm-hmm. Now, sorry.
I was going to... We've got a few things. First of all, it is a TV show, it's in CG, which is a good notion forward, since that every single cartoon now needs to be CG.
Mm.
Or is it every film? I don't know, I get confused.
It's the world of animation at the moment.
Pretty much. At least Sonic is. At least we know Sonic can work in CG. All the intros to, like, notably Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, pretty much from then onwards. Yeah.
I'll say Adventure onwards, but then again, not all people realise there actually was CG scenes in that.
Yeah, mostly in the when you start the game up and various points in the game.
Yeah, but also about Sonic Boom is that it also has a tie-in video game not developed by Sonic Team, and apparently is the way forward of the franchise. To start things off, the TV show.
Yeah. Actually, can we just start off very quickly? Is we actually did a podcast of this before, but
we actually did a podcast before on the Jazzwares sign stating that a new Sonic game coming in 2015 and that there's an all-new TV show with a film. That's 52 episodes long, 11 minutes in length episodes, so about 26 half-hour shows. So
yeah, which is enough.
We did a 45-minute podcast detailing everything, especially mainly my views on the future of Sonic.
Yeah, really. It sort of ended up being Dan just basically saying, I'm a bit worried about what's going to happen in the future.
I'm worried about the future, and I'm still worried about the future right now. But the point is, we had 40 minutes of actual material to go through, and apparently my recording software fucked up on me and only gave me back 3 fucking minutes.
And only on his side as well, so pretty much Dan was talking to nothing. If you were listening.
Like I was conversing with ghosts.
Yes.
For 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the cartoon show. We've already been given a teaser trailer showcasing what the show will look like and the actual writing style, which is comedy.
Yeah.
Not unlike the current run right now in the games. So, what do you think? Because you're more animation than I am.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, for the last few months, we've been hearing about, obviously, there was going to be...
About just over a year now.
Yeah, over about a year. So, but anyway, for nearly all this time, everybody has been speculating what this new show is going to be, outside from the teaser image that we had, which was...
This is a silhouette showing Knuckles, obviously...
It's
just taking Knuckles' head and place it on top of Storms
steroids.
or
Yeah. yeah, fans, you were right, that is Knuckles, well...
And since then, there's been a lot of fan design showing what would the characters look like, because they don't look like what they usually are in the games.
Well,
and a few of them look really fucking cool.
We'll get onto that eventually, but I think like I said, for a while everybody's been speculating what this new Sonic show would be like, or in terms of how does it compare to the 4 other shows, and obviously most of the shows today. And we only had snippets. I mean, one of the things that kept running a little bit was one of the writers from MLP, a guy called Dave Bolsky, I hope I said his name right.
Who cares?
Bronies care, but
if it was someone from Japan and you butchered their names, then it'll be something very serious. But an English name, not many people give a shit.
It's whatever. But that was one of the few, in terms of crew members that involved in the show. That was all we had. So there was an element of think. So people were going to say, so is the quality going to be the same like Pony? It essentially is, not to make this just a giant MLP thing, but generally what they've done with that show is basically they made it into a cartoon. It's still a show for, young kids and girls, but they've, it's obviously, we want to make it entertaining as possible, and obviously they've done that. So obviously, most people say, well, if they've done that with My Little Pony, what can they do with Sonic the Hedgehog? And again, that was a bit of a thing, going around for a while. But in terms of what we've seen from just the small little tease from what I guess is probably an excerpt from a future episode, or possibly episode 1 for all we know, I will admit from just the way it is, it's impressive. I generally am impressed of what I've seen. I mean...
It kind of reminds me of the kind of cartoonish style of Lost World, in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. I think funny enough, one of the things we talked about last time, one of the things I said in the last podcast, the one that never made it, was the thing I was saying is that if I had to compare it, this is before I'd seen it, but if I had to guess what it was going to be like, I would say it would be similar to the new Pac-Man show. There's Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, which is also a comedy CG TV show. But that is but after seeing this, I would say it's not exactly the same as that. I mean, that Pac-Man is much more for younger kids. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There's a lot of stuff that you can say, well, that doesn't make sense. What does this mean? What does that mean? But like I said, at its worst, it could be like that. And when I say worst, it's like, this is as low as you can go. And I know that sounds like sort of saying, well, you're putting the standards low. But generally saying, if it was like that, that would have been okay because, it was still fun and, entertaining. But I will admit, what I've seen is definitely referred that I think this is probably going to be, there's no denying that this show is probably going to have some interesting new development. Generally what I've seen so far, I'm definitely still looking forward to what this new cartoon is going to come out.
Yeah, to anyone listening, it's like, we're not saying we're not going to watch it. It's that most of it, it's like, they're going to do a few stupid things, but considering it's a kid's show, we can bit of leeway here and there.
Yeah, I mean, the humour is important because one of the first scenes in this little bit we saw was Sonic running after Eggman, which he literally then says, what was it, Egg Boy or something? Egghead, and he said, it's Eggman, you know that! And, literally making fun of his name. And then even, when he brings out his robot and he literally says, why didn't you call it this? And it's like, and he goes, what do you mean, what? He actually stumbles like, what are you talking about, what?
Yeah, the actual writing style actually is quite humorous, and it's not really cringe inducing. It's like, it just plays along. You're like, you get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just funny that Sonic is having a little bit of a tease with Eggman and say, why did you call your robot that? You could have called it this, and that, and he's just going, what? It's just like, I named the robots, that's my job. Yeah,
this kind of reminds me of the line from Sonic Generations where Sonic says, I beat you all the time. It's like my job or something.
Yeah. It's kind of a bit of you could say a small referential humour, like it's sort of little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but that's down to the audience.
Yeah, but aside from the animation and writing style, one of the biggest things which a lot of people are complaining about, and I'm kind of, but maybe, is the designs.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I knew going into this that they were going to be redesigned, and I've got to admit...
We all know, which is like, okay, how much is going to be redesigned? What's being changed? We all know Knuckles is going to be really buff. I think one of the artists just heard that Knuckles was a really strong character and just thought, oh, build him like a muscle man. No, he has the same character, the same body shape as Sonic, so why'd you do that? But I guess this is something we have to get used to at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is just, like I said, we've only just seen them. I mean, in terms of how they're going to move and how they're going to act in the show, I mean, we've seen Sonic and Tails at least, so we know how they're going to be like, at least in the show at the moment. But in terms of what Amy and Knuckles are going to be like, it's still a bit up there. But you have to sort of wait and see, really. It's like with, it's again like with the Transformers films. It's like when the initial designs of those robots came out, a lot of people were saying, oh, this is terrible. They look nothing like their counterparts. They're too complex. You can't tell the difference. But again, this is long before you saw them properly on the screen. And then when you actually seen them and move and how they interact with the real world, then that sort of argument died down a bit. It's still people argue a bit. I know.
Yeah.
I know, for instance, Sarah constantly argues, it's like, Optimus should have a shield in his mouth all the time. He shouldn't have a face. She always argues with that.
And what's the other thing that also Tails doesn't look like he's been redesigned. It looks like he's just got a goggles and a tool belt. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, and the cuffs on his gloves have risen a little bit halfway up his wrist.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, Tails is
redesign. It's like as much as a redesign he was between his classic and modern counterpart.
Yeah, because this is the thing actually. Because one thing is that really, when you look back at the history of Sonic in general, there's only really been two real big redesigns of the character. I mean, of course, there was the way he looked back in the 90s, which is classic Sonic, and then
the two characters that were majorly redesigned in Adventure was Eggman and Amy. That's it.
Yeah.
Amy had a complete overhaul. Quills go down, red dress, big
Yeah,
boots.
More of a girl, more of sort of the 90s, 21st century girl type thing.
Yeah. Then also Robotnik. was redesigned and renamed and called Eggman like his Japanese counterpart, where people would still let the go, so he's not complaining, it's the same fucking character.
It's the same character, it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah, it just really pisses me off when people keep arguing about that. It's the same character, you can have conversations about it, it's referring to the same character. It's just something that really keeps pissing me off.
It's like in Marvel, like they have Dr. Octopus or Doc Ock. I mean, Doc Ock's just a nickname. It's still Dr. Octopus or Dr. Octavius, that's his full name actually. But again...
Otto Octavius.
Otto Octavius, that's it. But again, they're just nicknames.
Amy, not so much different redesign. She's now got like a top and shorts really, and
I'd say she's a bit skinnier, although that's...
I would say she looks more agile, because in the game trailer, obviously, it shows she's being more agile, but we'll get onto that in a minute. She looks more agile, and judging by her expression, seems to be a more... not
adventurous girl.
Not really as into much tomfoolery or as airheaded as she has been for the past 3 games.
Sort of, the typical, like the damsel in distress, or the I love boy wants to run like hell type thing.
More like the Adventure 2 style Amy.
Yeah.
Where, she'll like Sonic, but prefers to stand on her own 2 feet, not just, oh hey, you were meant to lose the race. I'm sorry, that really pissed me off. Like, really bad writing in Free Riders. Sonic's redesign, it's not so much.
I will say...
He's got a couple of extra sprayed quills. He's taller.
He's got a scarf now.
His boots have got, like, strapped. He's rebandaged.
He's got, like, the leather tape, like, over his hands and legs, which is funny because they did that in the new Ninja Turtles cartoons, actually. Some of them do have, like, I think one of them has, like, tape around their arms, like fighters do.
Yeah, but the one thing that really irks me, and a lot of artists do this by mistake, is that Sonic has blue arms. That's the thing that puts me off. And it really sounds like really petty green eyes thing, but considering we've had, since Sonic's 4 initial reveal, we had 12 years from that point on with Sonic with green eyes, so complaining about it then is a bit stupid.
It's a bit like you're a bit late to the race.
Yeah, a bit late. If it was 99 or 2000, or the initial reveal of Sonic Adventure coming out of green eyes, fair enough. Although, to me, my reaction was, holy shit, looks fucking cool.
So just thought, okay, it's still him. I mean, I just said, that's still Sonic. That's my reaction.
But changing one of the main character design, aesthetics with peach arms.
To be honest, it's just...
It looks odd I'm not saying it's bad, because maybe it just works with the design, but it doesn't work for me.
Well, here's something funny, because in the 3 original Deke cartoons, a lot of times if you watch the episodes, you'll note there's like animation mistakes where they actually painted his arm blue, which was I think that was like an animation problem. Like, it's just a little mistake that they forgot, oh wait, he's, he's blue, but his arms are, human skin color. So I don't know whether they did that to say, well, fuck it, we don't have to worry about that all the time.
Yeah, but his arms have always been peach, so it kind of... I wouldn't say it's bad. Maybe after a while I just stop noticing it.
Yeah.
But right now it just irks me, but not in a good way.
Yeah. Although you're not going to do an online thing saying, Sega, how dare you do this? You should bow down to my will or anything like that, are you?
I'm pretty sure everyone else has already done that for me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, frankly,
I'm not one to start petitions over the stupid little things of aesthetic design.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just vocalizing it right now. The arms do not gel well with me. Knuckles' design I can deal with.
Yeah. In fact, I'm still surprised that really is Knuckles, because, we did talk before saying we don't think this is Knuckles, it's going to be a new character, and we were proven wrong.
We were proven wrong. Oh, yeah, still speaking of the show, Eggman's design. That looks cool.
He looks like sort of an aerial captain, the sort of...
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's still the main colours.
Mm-hmm.
It's still white, red, and yellow.
Yeah.
It looks odd, but it kind of like mix of Eggman and I'll say a little bit of Sat-AM. Well, the comics really, because he had this like admiral suit in the episode where they go to travel back in time. He had kind of like a very regal commander look.
Yeah. I'm saying that he kind of looks like the sort of I'd like to say the stereotypical like British fighter pilot thing. The sort of the quilt. Like, I think wasn't there like a little symbol on his coat or something? Like a little...
I think so. I may have to look back at the trailer.
But it's in that style, they have the coat and the thing in the middle.
It's still a red coat. It's still got the yellow buttons on it. It's still got a yellow sash and the yellow cuffs as well. Yeah. I would say his shoulder's a bit broad, though.
Yeah, well, I think in terms of...
One thing I noticed straight away is his mustache is smaller and his shoulders are much broader. Not to mention his goggles are a lot more... actually look like welding goggles.
Okay. Are they actually... You mean the one he actually wears or the one on top of his head?
Those are his glasses, not his goggles.
Right, I mean, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Because he's always... That's the thing, for the last few years, he's always had his trademark glasses on his face, and he's had those goggles on top of his head, which I don't think he's ever used them, or I don't think we've seen them.
Sonic Adventure 2, he pulls them down in one cutscene, that's about it.
Right. Okay, I'm just saying that
And also in Sonic 06, there is no goggles on his head.
No, but that was, again, I think that was their attempt to redesign Eggman, but didn't work. But we can go on forever about that.
Golden nipple bruckles.
Yeah, I still think they were just put on just to suck in all his fat. I swear to God, you could have easily had a cutscene of him, Sonic jumping onto Eggman's body, they short circuit, and suddenly he just comes back to the way he used to look like. I mean, to be honest, I bet somebody at Sonic Team thought of that. If they didn't think of that, that's a bit of a, it's like, there's a golden opportunity there, and, kind of a funny gag.
So, either way, the show has promise. It has promise.
Right. This is still a teaser, right? This is not the full series yet. But what we've seen...
Animation looks pretty decent. The writing is passable.
The action...
I'm pretty sure it's going to be so huge show, it's going to be cringeworthy.
Well, it will be. I mean, it is a kid's show, but hopefully it'll be done the best they can. I will say the action, actually, is worth mentioning, because obviously there's a whole bit of Sonic running around after this robot, and Tails coming in to actually help him, so... While it is meant to probably be a comedy show, there is still going to be action scenes in this series, and I'll be interested to see what they do, because in the tease we saw...
Especially if it's going to be a fast-paced one, not just, limited to a certain frame rate.
Yeah, exactly. Because we see there's a moment where Sonic does, a very dramatic slow-mo where he jumps into the middle of this canyon, because this whole bit takes place in, this giant hole in the ground. It does interest me in terms of what they're going to do in terms of the action-wise for the show. Because again, Sonic Hedgehog, if you're going to do a cartoon of this, obviously you want to show off Sonic's abilities and his friends' abilities in interesting and clever ways, obviously.
Yeah. Moving on, the next part, which kind of surprised us...
Yeah.
is that there's going to be a Sonic Boom tie-in game, not developed by Sonic Team, this time by Big Red Button Entertainment, which already is a fucking cool name.
Yeah.
But even more cool about the fact that the CEO and co-founder used to work on the Crash Bandicoot and Jack series.
One of the fathers.
Yeah, if it is one thing you say, is what did you work on? I worked on the Crash Bandicoot franchise. You're fucking hired.
Get in, boy. Yeah. It's actually funny.
One thing that's universal is that Crash Bandicoot is one of the greatest video games of all time.
Yeah. I mean, most people say the first 4 for the PlayStation 1, everybody just will agree, hands down, regardless which one you like the best, but generally people say the first 4, everybody loves, pretty much.
Jack and Daxter, the first 4. Well, first 5, actually, because Ready at Dawn was by ex-Naughty Dog employees as well.
Yeah. Though, here's something funny, one of the design members, here's a funny fact, when Jack 2 went into development, I hope it's the right guy. I think it's the level designer, the guy who actually drew the actual levels. And I do mean literally had to draw. The guy who drew Green Hill Zone, and we mean he had to draw all those little checkered blocks, all those stuff, actually went to work for Naughty Dog, and I think he's still there to this day, I think. I hope so.
I think he is.
Yeah. So it's a nice little thing, somebody from Sonic Team went to Naughty Dog, and now somebody in Naughty Dog is working on Sonic, so it's a nice little... the circle is complete.
Not to mention, there's a guy who's actually one of the initial design team on Sonic Extreme as well. So that's an interesting fact. Not too sure who, but it's an interesting fact.
There's a whole story about that, but talk about that.
The initial reveal trailer, even though it's a game work in progress, showed something we haven't seen for the past 5 years.
Having the other members.
Other playable characters with unique gameplay gimmicks. It's like, Sonic can run really fast. Tails has got a freaking laser. Knuckles can dig, punch stuff, and climb on walls. Not can climb on ceilings, which is a fucking cool thing in 3D gameplay. And Amy can use a hammer and also do aerobics and all that.
Yeah.
And where she looks, I think the actual agile ninja thing comes into question, because when they fall, she's only lands on her fucking feet.
Hmm.
And she's the only character who doesn't fucking talk. In that trailer at all. In
the trailer, yeah.
We maybe hear Knuckles talk, we hear Sonic talk, and we hear Tails talk. Amy, we don't know. Maybe they got another voice actor and just wanted to replace her and just not reveal it yet. If it is, please don't sound like fucking Minnie Mouse. That is something everyone fucking hated.
Well, to be honest, I mean, that's the way how you do a female character. That's how it works normally. It's like, you want to do a female character of a main character, you just you basically put them in drag and eyelashes. That's essentially it. Or design.
Like the Fox voice actor, she was the best one.
Hmm.
She was the best one. Can't remember her name now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I was going to say Laura Bailey, but I think she does Omochao and Blaze.
Now or before?
Now.
Right.
Before it was Bella Hudson.
Right then. But now, what we've seen of the Sonic Boom, the tie-in game, which first of all, I did not expect this to come out. I mean...
Especially for a game that's going to be proposed for this year.
Yeah, and this to be the third exclusive Nintendo game, because that was the thing everybody's been wondering about for ages, of like, what's this third mysterious game that everybody kept going on?
To quote a meme at the moment, Sega, why you no make Sonic Rush 3D? Sorry, but I had to say that, because out of all the games that is Nintendo exclusive, why isn't there a Sonic Rush 3?
Hmm.
But for this, I'll accept this. It's like, this is the kind of direction I want the series to go, just not with this kind of aesthetics.
Yeah.
I'll still get a Wii U and I'll still play the fucking thing. I'll probably still enjoy it because it's actually being handled by people, some certain history have worked on A-class games. Mm-hmm. On games you can think, oh yeah, that was a fucking good time.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's still early on. I mean, I will say the one thing that this game reminded me of a little bit when I saw it, it reminded me of, actually two games. It reminded me of Knack, the PS4 game, and Ratchet & Clank All for One a little bit, actually.
A lot of people saying it's like more like a Sonic Heroes 2.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, that, when they're running down the hill, I thought to myself, yeah, that's Sonic Heroes.
And I'll say it again, I fucking love Sonic Heroes.
Mm. I mean, if they're going down that route again, just make it work. That's all I say. Just make sure the controls work. That's all I care. That's all I ask for.
As long as it's playable, as long as it's fun, as long as there's a story that doesn't take itself too seriously or too comedic. But no, when it's part of the CV series, it's got to be fucking comedic.
Yeah.
That's the giant fucking worm going out the ground.
Yeah. I mean, here's something I should bring up, because, before, it's funny because years ago there was going to be a SAT-AM game, developed for the Mega Drive, wasn't it? The Sonic Hedgehog SAT-AM game.
Yeah,
which was a very different game. I mean, gameplay-wise, that was very different from what Sonic was going through at the time.
It was going to be based on the series and be more stealth-focused.
Mm-hmm.
Or about as much stealth you can put in a 16-bit game about
especially
a platformer.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking Metal Gear Solid here. We're talking... yeah.
We're talking Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
Well, okay.
That was a top-down game.
Yeah, correct me. But again, it's funny how back then they tried to implement the SAT-AM universe. Well, they tried to make a game outside the SAT-AM universe, and now they're actually going, yeah, let's make a game based on the show. Let's actually have an actual thing connected to the series. Let's not just be, oh, here's one thing, let's make it into something else. So that surprises me the most, that they've actually gone this far to actually, let's make this TV show and make a game version of it.
Actually, like I said, it surprised many of us.
Mm-hmm. Which is one thing Sonic games, I'll probably keep saying this forever, but if there's one thing Sonic games keep doing in this day and age, is they always surprise you. Always surprises you, no matter, you can never predict what they're going to do next.
But along with this and everything else is that there was the Sega's plans, and it was rumoured that this would be the way forward, the canon of the entire franchise from this point on.
Yeah, supposedly the reboot, which a lot of people keep asking, is Sonic had a reboot since? Because a lot of people thought Colors was the official reboot or something, which, to be honest, they never really rebooted it. They just sort of refined stuff, really. That's all they've done the last few years.
Because like Sonic 06 went to be a brand new start, but it's like, okay, how could it be a brand new start where you bring in every single fucking character?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's not really a reboot, and plus you bring in a new character as well, so it's not really a reboot, it's more like, oh, hey look, let's bring back all the stuff that you really loved in the past 3 games, but kind of fuck it up.
Yeah, well, I think their attempt was just that, let's try and, because when you think about it, Sonic 06 is kind of their attempt, let's do everything we've done in all the other 3D games, from Adventure 1 and 2 and Heroes, let's just shove it into one game as best we can. Ultimately, it didn't work, but I don't think, again, it's always funny when you hear interviews from Sega. A lot of the times, the old thing they used to say over and over again was like, back to its roots, or back to the old days, or, back to old form. And I always felt, how many times are we going to keep saying that? And actually felt like, right.
Only now it's saying,
is everything new you've done that bad?
Only now it's saying, no, this is a new direction, which is worrying. Because a lot of people will say, because the Sonic fan base is completely unstable, like, oh, every new Sonic game comes out, all the fans fucking praise for it. Then complain about when it's been revealed, then complain even more about it when it's actually announced, then the cycle repeats again, which is a bullshit title. If you follow your life by that, you have no mind of your own.
Yeah, exactly. I
fucking hate that cycle. It really is. It's like one person made it, and you all follow it like a fucking Bible. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that just shows how pessimistic certain fans are.
Yeah, because of that, a lot of outside fans think, oh, that's how every Sonic fan reacts. Think, oh, they get excited for a new Sonic game. No, we don't. We don't get excited for a new Sonic game. We get excited for the announcement, the build-up. Can it be a new Sonic game this year? Can there be a new game this year? When it's announced and we see what it is, it's not really excitement, but concern.
It's just kind of interest. I mean, to me, it's always, okay, this is what it is. I'm going to have to wait and see until I get my hands on it. That's the way I always see it, really. Until I get my hands on the game, I can be as, I can say I don't like this direction, or I can be as hyped up as ever, but it's down to when I actually get to see it or play it, that's when you really decide.
The same way Kickstarter doesn't really guarantee success when you back something up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, maybe some people actually in the field who actually know what the fuck they're doing and have a grand history behind them when they use Kickstarter. They like Tim Schafer or Charles Cecil.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tim Schafer.
Or in Kenji Inafune, is it Kenji or Kenji? Well, the guy
who made Mega Man.
The guy who made Mega Man is making Might Number 9. After we've seen some concept art and everything. These people earn fucking millions through Kickstarter for a game.
Yeah. It's actually, I just want to quickly say this. The funny thing about with Charles and the creator of Mega Man is basically, I'll stop with Tim. Tim basically just went up and says, hey, I'm going to make an adventure game. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to be good, but we'll see. And then he got
13 million quid.
13 million quid within just instantly like that. But it's interesting because he was just saying, I don't know what it's going to be like. Whereas Charles and Mega Man creator, literally, they didn't do that at first. They actually went and actually started building stuff. Charles also actually went on and made bits of Broken Sword 5 first to say, okay, this is what it's going to look like. This is the feel. These are the characters. And if you like this, then help us fund the game and we'll make it like the way it is you've seen in that trailer. And the same with Might Number 9.
With Kenji Inafune saying, oh, here's what I'm making. It's going to be a success of the Mega Man's franchise. And here's some concept art. We're working on it right now. We're going to get your help. But if you keep these stretch goals, you can actually have the soundtrack, some art, and also we'll make retail copies of the fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Broken Sword 5, same thing. They said, if you give us this money, we'll give you this, and that. You'll get developer diaries. We'll update you what's going on with the game. I mean, constantly, I will say with Revolution, is they're constantly telling you what's going on with the game at the moment. It's not like they'll say, oh, it's coming, and then you hear nothing, and they keep saying it's coming. They actually will say, okay, we said it's coming. We don't know exactly, but we hope it'll be in this month. If not, we're sorry, but we'll do our best. In fact, actually, they got Broken Sword 5 Part 1, call it that for the moment, just before the end of the year. They specifically worked, they were working like 3 a.m. in the morning just to get the game out before the end of the year.
And how was it?
I will say is that there were a few little visual problems, but generally as a game, playing from beginning to end, it worked perfectly. Fine, everything worked, no real glitches. It worked.
Is it fun?
It is fun. I mean, there were some funny puzzles in there. I will say there's one particular funny puzzle where you have to, what's the best way of saying it? One character gets killed at the very beginning of the game, and his widower, who gets drunk because she can't bear the idea of her husband disappeared. Later in the game, you have to do a puzzle in which you have to, in her drunken state, play his favorite track, and then dress up as him. And when I mean dress up, it's like you try your best to like put on glasses, you dye your hair differently, you put a fake beard on, and that somehow fakes her to thinking her husband's right there and then, which is a little bit creepy, but when you see it in the game, trust me, I did sit there thinking, I can't believe this is happening. This is ridiculous.
Not the worst thing to happen in a video game, because
No,
hey,
but
it's right to hell retribution.
Yeah, but like I said, it was just one of those things that I can't believe I saw this in here, but hey, it was funny.
But moving quickly back on the thing of Sonic is like, where were we? Oh yeah, this being main canon. Unfortunately, the president, John Shen, said, well, the president of Sega of America said, this is not going to replace the original franchise. So, is this a reboot or not? Because if it's going to be just a TV show, we're probably going to have a movie in the future, which is on that fake card, which we all know, Sega, you're really fucking bad at keeping secrets.
Well, in this day and age...
The Sonic Boom video game, that took us by surprise.
Yeah.
I will say that. And also, Sonic Generations with having classic Sonic, that took us by surprise. So you're getting better at it.
Yeah.
Just very slowly.
Yeah. It's just, it's the internet. Everybody's always going to find leaks to stuff, so, you know.
But as of right now, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to the TV show. And I'm just very concerned whether or not this is actually going to rewrite the past 22 years of Sonic history, or the past 15 years of our current Sonic.
Yeah.
Because I'm basically acting and reacting the same way. Acting and reacting, same thing. Reacting the same way as many people online do.
Yes.
It's a change. It's like this is a massive change to the Sonic franchise.
Yeah. I'll give you a good example. I'll give you a very good example. It's like when, well, I've got two, but do you want me to do Transformers or Doctor Who? Which one do you prefer?
Doctor Who wasn't really changed, because it always kept changing. It was kind of one of the main formulas.
Okay,
then. There's a new actor, he's going to be acting different, there's going to be a different writer.
But it's like a different feel to the show each time when it sort of changes every few years.
But that's the good thing, though. It's like ever-changing with actors and interpretations. In the past 50 years of Earth, well, I guess 30 or 40 odd something, considering the actual gap between the years. That is something to be expected. You expect something different with every actor or every showrunner.
Okay, well, actually, now you said that, I'll use Transformers as an example, because when the live-action film came out, the thing was that this was clearly designed as, imagine you've never heard of Transformers. Imagine you never saw it in the 80s, you didn't know it was a toy brand. It was pretty much like a clean slate. Like, if you've never heard of this universe of machines that can disguise themselves as vehicles and then reassemble themselves using parts of those vehicles, it was pretty much done as, like, it's a clean slate. Like, this is for a new audience. But with that said, at the same time, there was Transformers Prime, which again was another different interpretation. So you had the live action films and this animated series with very two different continuities. I will say the live action Transformers, what they do is they take bits and elements from the various different versions of Transformers, from the TV shows, the comics, and, you know, there's been graphic novels and novels as well. And they sort of just reinterpretate them in different ways. Like in, best example is the second movie they put in The Matrix of Leadership, which was in the original film, the animated movie. They just reinterpretate it in the live action films. And then in Prime, it tries to be, it's a little bit more, I do know that's more connected to the continuity of Transformers now, because that was kind of like a restart of the whole series. But like I said, it is separate to the live action films. So, if anything, it's probably going to be the same with Sonic, if best. Like, the animated...
And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping this will be its own continuity. It'll have references, it'll have certain attributes to it, but it won't immediately affect the original franchise.
No.
Although I fucking guarantee in the 25-year anniversary or 35th anniversary, we'll have 3 Sonics to play as.
Yeah, probably.
Classic, modern, and boom.
Boom. That's at the moment we've got now. Interesting.
Yeah, Boom Sonic.
Yeah, Boom Sonic.
Sonic Boom Sonic, there you go.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast. Sonic Boom Sonic. I fucking...
But I do think it's funny because, yesterday they considered this 2014 being the year of Sonic, and, you know, thinking about it.
2011? Just saying. Why not 2011? Why 2014?
I don't know. Well, that was the Sony event. Well, yeah, Generations came out that then, didn't it?
Everything focused on that for a 3-hour game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think they're calling it this the year of Sonic because they're really taking a big step. It went from just one big new game of the year and then maybe 1 or 2 spin-offs. It's now, right, we've had a big game, now we're having another game, now we're having a TV show, and then we're having a spin-off of the game. So it is like this, really, this is a big thing. Because like you said before in the podcast, you just felt like in the last few years, you felt that they're not trying anymore. It's like they're just falling back on all the old assets.
Especially in Lost World, even though it's like it's a new direction where the gameplay goes, it's still hanging on to every bit of nostalgia it can actually muster up, like reinventing all the badniks and some of these the aesthetics of the zones from the classic era. And I keep saying, okay, the classic games, good. Go play the classic games. They are fucking everywhere. I have 5 copies of the fucking things.
Yeah, you can get them on every.
Of all 4 games, I have Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles. I have 5 copies of each. I only have 1 copy of CD only because it's on Xbox Live. And I don't have a Mega CD.
Back in the day, yeah.
But still, this direction is a bit wavy, a bit bumpy.
Yeah. But like you said, you did say, I want to see you take risks.
And this is a risk, but it's like kind of a risk I wasn't really expecting.
Well, that's the problem. Sometimes
it's like when you ask for something different and want it, and they give you it, you're not going to like it. Yeah, it's like, well, it's not the way I wanted it. Yeah. Well, bugger you then, because
you didn't tell us
one in several million people in the entire fucking world.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm not really the most extroverted Sonic fan out there. I'm trying to be. I've been writing a list of the 5 games I really want fucking made, but guarantee this reboot, I'm not too sure they'll be made. And you'll expect a video sometime in the next few months anyway.
Yeah.
But as of now, new show, gonna watch it, and we're gonna do podcasts. Do podcasts on all of it, or vlogs.
Yeah, I mean, depending on when it comes out, it may be we'll have to watch it online or when it comes out in the UK. I'd love it if it came out the same time here in the UK on Cartoon Network. I would love that.
I'll guarantee someone will upload it to YouTube anyway.
Yeah, either that. We'll watch it any way we can, and obviously we'll give you what we think of it as quickly as we can.
The game, well, I still need a Wii U.
I have a Wii U, so I'm definitely...
He's completed it.
Yeah, well, I got Lost World, so at least I know I've got more to play on that system, so I'm not... People say, you shouldn't get a Wii U. Oh, there's nothing for it. Like...
Nothing for it. There's nothing for the Xbox One or PS4 either, unless you really fucking want Killzone Shadowfall.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Rise, Fall of Rome. Oh, yeah, 2 best-looking games on the system, which gameplay just seems...
Not play any different from any other game at the moment.
Unless you want to play NAC, which is more like a technical spectacle, really.
Is it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Wii U is probably the only console right now with any actual games.
Yeah, and there are some really good stuff coming out later on in the year, so it's not all doom and gloom.
It's got a remake of Zelda Wind Waker. Fucking game.
I mean, this is the game that Dan would get for the Wii U. This is like, I bet this will be the first thing he'll try and get.
I think we've said what we need to say at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much. But
okay, TV show looking forward to. Game definitely going to get a try of because it's something I've been wanting to play for quite a while. It's a reboot, but not really a reboot. But then again, I don't want to believe at the moment.
All we can say is that at least there's something new with Sonic the Hedgehog going on at the moment. We can say that
it's something new. It's a new direction, which is gonna take. It's taking some risks that the series definitely needs to take.
Hopefully there won't be the typical, stuff that then people go online and go like, oh, this is all bullshit, blah, 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 wanking, bullshit, nonsense, IGN type nonsense. I just summed up every...
Their IGN review was actually pretty spot on.
Well, yeah, I mean, not every review IGN's done, but you get the idea. The people who you always feel like they're just doing it just to be, it's like, I'm just going to make a video where I just bash Sonic today. I just don't give a shit. But, we've gotten used to that for the last few years. And
the Lost World review, I can actually agree, but the Unleashed one? Bullshit. How can it score less than 06? How can Unleashed score less than 06?
It's still funny. I mean, how many years ago was that now? 2007? So it's been about...
2008.
That's when, bloody hell, it's still that... it still hurts, doesn't it, to you?
Not really, because my probably my 3 favourite... I'm trying to think right now what my 5 favourite Sonic games are. And I think it comes down to Sonic 1, Sonic Rush, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Heroes, and Sonic Unleashed. Those are the top my 5 most favourite Sonic titles. Because they're all new and are all Sonic original. Compared to the, oh look, it's classic Sonic in a modern Sonic game. Oh, wow. Nostalgia. Thank you. It's not like I haven't seen this about 10 fucking times before.
Well, Mario's been doing that for the last few years, and to be honest, actually, let's just end this. I mean, you may be worried with Sonic's directions, but at least he's doing something new, unlike a certain Italian plumber who seems to be just doing the same shit.
Not too sure. 3D World's getting pretty high marks.
I know, but like I said,
it actually looks fun to me. I actually want to try 3D World. Because it actually looks like a decent game since Galaxy.
Yeah. No. I've got nothing against, again, I've not played it. Maybe it is a masterpiece, and probably is. But like I said, when you think to yourself, did you just look at New Super Mario Brothers and 3D Land and just basically put them together, didn't you? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we just...
But we're catsuits!
Yeah, we're catsuits. That's our gimmick. Well, it's like Yahtzee said, they probably just look out of a window just into themselves. Oh, look, a cat.
I think it's gone long enough.
Yeah.
I'm Sonicguru, and I'll see you next time.
See ya.